Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Tamale Mystery, aka Ready to Glow for those of you who don't know me. And in today's tutorial, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do your eyebrows. So I like to do my eyebrows two different ways. The first way I'm going to be teaching you is a lot more natural. This look I like to do when I'm like on the go and I just need something quick and easy to make my eyebrows look fuller, but they don't look super dramatic. The second way I'm going to be teaching you is a lot more dramatic. You can, I guess, call them the Instagram eyebrows. They're a lot more sculpted, a lot more there, a lot more defined. So yeah, if you guys are interested in this, please keep on watching. So the first look I'm going to do is like my on-the-go brow. This is really quick and easy to do, as I mentioned before. So I'm going to start off by using the Benefit Gimme Brow Gel in number 3. This is one of my favorite brow gels. The color payoff is awesome. I absolutely love how small and precise the applicator is too, so you can really brush it through your eyebrows nicely without feeling like it's gonna get everywhere. Sometimes I find that other brow gels, the wand is just way too big, so the gel kind of gets everywhere and it can get messy. So I really love the applicator on this. This is something that you can also take with you just like in your purse because it's so small. So what I like to do first is take a clean spoolie and brush out my eyebrows first. Now this step isn't like super necessary, but something that I like to do because it just makes everything end up looking a lot cleaner. And then I'll just go ahead and brush the Gimme Brow Gel through my brows. And I brush upwards like so to give my eyebrows a nice natural feathery shape. Now on the parts that are sparse, you can tell that this part of my eyebrow is sparse and this part is sparse too. I like to take the tip of the applicator and apply the gel like that. So it's a lot more precise and it goes on heavier and fills in those areas nicely. So you can see my brow is nicely filled in. It looks very natural and clean, not overdone. This is the first way that I like to do it. Now, if you do want it to be a little bit more sculpted but natural at the same time, what I like to do is I like to go in with a brow pencil. So I'm going to be using the Kiss NY Pro Top Brow Fine Precision Brow Pencil, and this is in the color Deep Dark Brown. And I'm just gonna go ahead and outline the areas I find need more definition. So the front of my brow, and I'm not applying a lot of pressure just because I don't want my brows to look super dark and defined. I just want small hair-like strokes so that it gives it more definition but doesn't look like the quote-unquote Instagram brows. And then pull down my brow a little bit here, just so I have a nice pointy ending. So you can see that define my brows a little bit more. Now that I've showed you guys how to do my on-the-go brow, I'm going to be showing you guys how I do my Instagram brow. So this brow is a lot more defined, it's a lot more full, a lot darker, and it's like very sculpted compared to what this brow looks like. So for this eyebrow, I'm going to be using the Anastasia Beverly Hills Dipbrow Pomade in Chocolate. When I first discovered that filling in your brows was a thing, like maybe like 5-6 years ago, this was the first product that I ever purchased for my brows. Before that, I was like filling in my brows with like eyeshadows and stuff. So yeah, this was my first ever brow product and I fell in love with it, and I haven't kind of moved past it since. I think the only thing that I found equivalent to this dip brow is the Ka-Brow pomade from Benefit, but I don't know, I absolutely love the Anastasia one. I love the color of it too. The color that I use is chocolate, and this color is slightly like more on the warmer brown side. Now I know a lot of people, when they try to pick an eyebrow color, they'll try to match their hair, and sometimes I find that can be way too dark. You do want your eyebrows to be a little bit lighter than what your hair is like, because otherwise if you match it exactly to your hair, your eyebrows look very prominent and it can just look like too dramatic, which is why I like to use the color chocolate. I also prefer a warmer color over an ashier color, but that's just personal preference. Like, it doesn't really matter if you're going with an ashier color or a warmer color. But yeah, that's a big reason why I've stuck with this product, because I find that the color is exactly what I'm looking for in a eyebrow product. It's not too dark, but it's not too light. I also find that this Dipbrow pomade is phenomenal in terms of like staying power. It stays on all day. I've like swam with the Dipbrow on and my eyebrows have not budged like even a little bit. So it is also, I guess, like waterproof in that sense. I don't know if they market it that way, but I've tested it out and it is waterproof for me. So a little tip for this Dipbrow is sometimes it can dry out easily if you leave it open or if it's exposed or whatever. Over time, gels like this just tend to easily dry out. And so what I like to do is I like to start on one side and move my way over to the other side rather than dipping directly right into the middle of it. When you start on one side and kind of move your way over, the Dipbrow or the gel that's kind of underneath the first layer tends to stay more moist and more gel-like rather than drying out really quickly, so it lasts a lot longer. Now I also find that I don't mind when my Dipbrow dries out just slightly, because and it gets to this point, because it is still a little bit dry when you do it this way, but I don't mind that, because when you first use it, it's like super creamy and you can get a lot onto your brush and it can just go on so heavily. And when it's a little bit more dry, I feel like you have more control over it and it doesn't go on so dark and heavy. The eyebrow brush that I'm going to be using is the Sephora number 20 brush. This is an angle brush with this spoolie on the end. This is like one of the best eyebrow brushes I find. I think it's pretty much equivalent to the Anastasia Beverly Hills eyebrow brush, but like way cheaper. When looking for an angled eyebrow brush, I like something that's very thin, so that you can get very like nice, thin, precise lines. I find sometimes eyebrow brushes can be too thick and it can get messy when you're trying to do your eyebrows. And then obviously, like, I like to have the spoolie on the end. So what I start off by doing is I comb out my brow upwards with the spoolie. This helps me see any of the sparse areas that I need to fill in a little bit more. And then I take some of my Dipbrow and I start off by defining my arch first. You want to place all the heavy amount of product on your arch first. And then take the leftover product into the front of your brow so that the front of your brow doesn't look super defined and like prominent and in your face. And I like to go in with like small hair-like strokes. So you can see I didn't dip into my Dipbrow again as I'm getting closer to the front. I'm just using leftover product. Then I'm going to go ahead and define the top part of my arch. And then take the leftover product to the front. As you get to the front, you want to make sure that your strokes are very light-handed. This is how you get that natural looking front part of your brow. And then when I get to the front, I like to use just the pointy part of the angle brush. And then you're just gonna do small hair-like strokes in the front of your brow. You want the front of your brow to be a little bit more sparse, just because you don't want this to be super defined. Otherwise, it's gonna make your eyebrows look very prominent and make it look like you filled it in with permanent marker. You wanna be able to notice the hairs that are there, like see the lines of the hairs. To finish off this look, I'm going to sculpt out my brows using a concealer. I'm going to be using the Too Faced Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer in the color Warm Beige. What I like to do is take a small flat concealer brush and take some of the concealer and I'll wipe it on the back of my hand like so. This helps me prevent having too much concealer on my actual brush, because what I'm trying to do is just define and carve out the lines of my eyebrows, but not actually like highlight around my entire eyebrow. I see that a lot on Instagram. It kind of confuses me because it looks like eyebrow and then like face, and it just looks like way too prominent. So this helps to make it look like a nicer transition between your eyebrows and your like actual skin. It still defines your eyebrows, but doesn't like make them stick out like a sore thumb. So I like to use the tip of this brush, and I like to go ahead and carve out my eyebrow. And then I'll go in small little sweeping motions downwards to blend out with the rest of my skin. For the top of my eyebrow, I just go in with the brush flat and I drag it across and follow the line of my brow. And then blend out upwards. And then I do the same with the inner part of my eyebrow. And to get a nice pointy tip to your eyebrow, again, I go in with just the tip of the brush. So you can tell that these two eyebrows are different. This eyebrow here looks a lot more like natural and fluffy, and this one looks a lot more carved out and defined. Now you may not be able to tell like right away the difference between the two brows, but that's because my brows are like pretty naturally thick and the hairs are naturally dark. So they already look a lot more filled in than other people's eyebrows. So that's why you can't tell a massive difference between the two. But if you are someone that has more sparse eyebrows, you'll notice a huge difference when you do these two different methods. And for those of you who want to know how I get my eyebrows done, I go to a place in Yorkville, Toronto called Infused Med Spa, and I get my eyebrows done from there. My friend who owns the spa, Kavita, she's the one that always does my brows, and she waxes them. So I've been getting my brows waxed for a really long time. I just find that the hair grows a lot less and it's not as like thick and like noticeable. So I personally really like getting my eyebrows waxed. So she waxes my eyebrows and then she'll like pluck out any like small hairs that didn't come out through the waxing. She also tints my eyebrows as well. So that actually, I absolutely love that process of her tinting my brows because I find that it makes my brows look a lot more fresh. And when I fill them in with a gel, it's so much quicker because they're already somewhat filled in. If you're the type of person that doesn't like to do your brows, I would highly suggest getting them tinted, just because it makes them look like they're full even though you haven't done anything to them. And then she'll just finish off my brows by actually like filling them in with a pencil a bit and then highlighting them and doing all that good stuff. But this is how I pretty much maintain what she does for me. Anyways guys, that's all there is to this video today. If you did enjoy this tutorial, please do not forget to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe. You do not want to be missing out on any future content. And as always, thank you so much for watching and for all the love and support. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.